With brave soldiers, clashing tanks, and the determination to defeat tyranny, the Battle of the Siegfried Line was shockingly the most decisive battle in World War II. From the brutes of the Axis to the Allied heroes, the Siegfried Line became the bone marrow of the most destructive war in the history of humanity. But when this traitorous line stood tall as a tyrannical savior of Nazi Germany, the Allies puffed taller with tanks and arsenals that had the brutes biting their tongues. They charged forward with a tank offensive, determined to defeat Nazi Germany and bring freedom to Europe. But what could possibly happen when the two enigmas came face to face on the fatherland? Well, watch this video to find out and accompany us as we relive the epic battle that broke through the fortified line and paved the way for victory in World War II. Welcome to History Flicks, where we delve into past battles and honor the bravery of our warriors. Join us in the sanctuary of history and heroism as we scrutinize their tales with our war-tinted glasses. Now let's get on with it. As tanks roared across the battlefield, a line of steel and concrete rose as the final stronghold against the advancing enemy. The Siegfried Line wasn't merely a fortification, but a testament to the unwavering spirit and selflessness displayed during the tumultuous times of World War II. The Siegfried Line, a behemoth of concrete and steel, symbolized Nazi Germany's military prowess and served as a formidable barrier along the western frontier. With bunkers and anti-tank obstacles spanning far and wide, the Nazis deemed it their ultimate shield against an Allied invasion from France or Belgium. The Third Reich relied on the strength of the Siegfried Line to keep their regime secure. The Siegfried Line, also known as the West Wall, was a major military campaign that took place in the latter part of World War II, and the Axis powers and the Allies were militarily beefing because of this. But in 1944, the Allies struck with an unrelenting force, launching a massive tank offensive aimed at breaking through the line and storming the heart of the Third Reich, Berlin. The objective was clear: to end the war in Europe and defeat Germany once and for all. A horde of tanks and armored vehicles, supported by infantry and air power, rumbled towards the Siegfried Line, determined to break through the concrete behemoth. The battle was brutal and bloodstained, but the Allies knew that cracking the Siegfried Line was the key to unlocking the door to Berlin and their ultimate victory. But how did this all happen? How did an army of savages get defeated by civilized heroes? Well, soldiers, it wasn't a one-day victory, but rather a series of battles and bloodshed that led to the final strike. What started as an American invasion soon turned into the Battle of Aachen, targeting the very first city in the stumbled road of the steel line that kept the Nazi ego high. As the American forces marched forward, a sense of apprehension and unease lingered in the air. The rumble of approaching German panzer force echoed like a harbinger of doom. The Americans were well versed in the capabilities of the Panzer IV, a war machine with a lethal 75mm cannon and an armor thickness of 80mm at the front, but a vulnerable 30mm on its flank. The strategy was to exploit this weakness, attacking from the sides to maximize their firepower. The battle was a test of skill and endurance for the American soldiers as they navigated their tanks, seeking the perfect shot while avoiding direct fire. The tanks took heavy damage, and one commander, Lieutenant Barrett, was forced to take the reins after losing 2 tanks earlier in the day. Despite his exhaustion, he fearlessly led his men to victory in the Battle for Aachen on October 21st. The city was the first to fall to the Allies in the fatherland, and the 3rd Armored Division had its sights set on the heart of Germany. The Germans put up a relentless fight, refusing to surrender, but the American soldiers pressed on with unwavering determination, determined to vanquish their enemy. But this wasn't it. There were far more miserable turns on the journey to the tyrannical line. But before we move any further, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to History Flicks for more videos like this. Now, back to the takedown of the Third Reich. Amidst the strife of conflict, American soldiers encountered the most treacherous fight of the war in the Hurtgen Forest. Unprepared for the Germans' armored surge in the Battle of the Bulge, the Allies persevered, braving tenacious opposition as they aimed to capture the Rhine River bridges. The valiant 1st Canadian Army fought through the Hochwald Gap and advanced into hostile terrain, finally reaching the Rhine. As the Allies approached Berlin, The metropolis was bombarded, its streets cluttered with destruction, but the Germans were resolute in defending their last stand. On April 30th, 1945, the Allies stormed Berlin and initiated a massive assault, resulting in brutal combat. Despite the Germans' determined resistance, they were no match for the Allies' superior might, and after several days of battle, the Allies captured Berlin and the Third Reich surrendered. The Battle of Paderborn reached its zenith as American forces overpowered the German defenders, putting an end to the Nazi regime. The 3rd Armored Division faced minimal resistance as they marched towards Dessau, the final major city standing in their way to Berlin. The fight for Dessau was fierce, with tanks and infantry clashing through the streets, but in the end, American forces emerged as the conquerors of Dessau and the liberators of Europe, securing their legacy in history. During the heat of battle, both the Allies and the Germans utilized a variety of armored vehicles, each boasting unique advantages and limitations. The Allies primarily relied on the trusty M4 Sherman and the mighty M26 Pershing tanks. The M4 Sherman was the go-to tank for the Allies, known for its dependability, ease of upkeep, and versatility. The M26 Pershing, on the other hand, was a more sophisticated tank armed with a more potent engine and a larger cannon, yet it saw less action due to its scarcity. Meanwhile, the German army deployed an arsenal of tanks, including the Panzer IV, the Agile Panther, and the Fear Tiger I. The Panzer IV was a multi-role tank, used as both a support tank and a tank destroyer. The Panther was a swift and nimble tank, boasting impressive weaponry and armor, making it one of the war's most formidable tanks. The Tiger I was the most heavily armed and armored tank in the German arsenal, striking fear into the hearts of the Allies with its ability to effortlessly eliminate enemy tanks. The tank assault that shattered the Siegfried Line and seized Berlin was a seminal moment in World War II, signaling the end of the war in Europe and the downfall of Nazi Germany. It was a testament to the valor and perseverance of the Allied soldiers who made the ultimate sacrifice to bring liberty and justice to the continent. The tank offensive was a merciless and fierce battle, but it was also a victory of the human will, a demonstration of the indomitable spirit of those who battled to protect freedom and conquer oppression. After the dust of war settled, the Allies erupted in jubilation, basking in their triumph as the world gazed ahead with a gleam of optimism. The tank siege will forever be etched in history as a seminal moment of the 20th century, a salute to the bravery and resoluteness of those who dared to confront the nefarious Nazi regime. The Siegfried Line, though a daunting fortress, was no match for the Allies' unwavering spirit to vanquish evil and extend the gift of liberty to all corners of the earth. So what do you think was the ultimate tactical move of the Allied forces to win this epic battle? Do let us know in the comments section below. Did you enjoy the video? You would help this channel tremendously by giving us a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy one of our other war stories right now.